Now today when I did this, I knew I did it. And first thing I noticed was the battery getting puffy. And basically they'll still work and operate just fine if they do get puffy like this. But what it does, I believe, is it just lessens the life of the battery. And you do lose some C rating too. This is a high C rated battery. This is a 45 C battery. So that's a high discharge battery. Most of you guys out there are running like 20, 25 C, which is 90% of what everyone has out there. I sell the tons out of those. And that is the most popular battery I sell is the 2200 3-cell 20C battery. Zippy or Turnigy. I sell them for like $19.99. A couple bucks for shipping. This is my first ever YouTube video, so please excuse it, but it's going to be raw footage. I have not learned how to edit yet. I'm a little bit behind on this, just like I was on learning lipo batteries, but once I got into the lipo batteries, I got into it. And doing it now for over 15 years, I believe I'm pretty damn good with them. If you ever have any problems or questions, feel free to give us a call and give me a call directly and talk to me. Be happy to hear from you. So we're only into this for a couple minutes now, and this battery is now at 374 on the low voltage cell. So I'm going to go ahead and discharge it, or excuse me, take it off the jump and go ahead and plug it in. Now you'll notice that your other battery will not come down in voltage at all. You don't need but it to be a good battery. And that one's still a 11.5 total voltage. What I do with my batteries is after I charge them, I put a rubber band around them to where I know that I charged them. You need to have something to know if you know, because you'll end up with a lot of these batteries. I know I have over 30 of them in my, how do I say, my collection at the moment that I'm using. And once I realize I'm not using a certain size or a certain set of batteries, I try to give them away or sell them or just get rid of them one way or the other, because they will just go bad on you if you're not using them. I learned that putting them in storage mode is a must if you're not going to use them for a while. Storage mode is basically the voltage that you get them at, which is right around 3.8 to 3.9 volts per cell. Most chargers now have what is called a storage mode, where you can just hit a button and put it back into storage mode after a certain period of time. And I'm starting to do that, and basically what happened to me was I was did not fly for about a year. Now that's not too uncommon for guys like us. We tend to get in and get out of things. And so I got out of it for a year and just took a break for whatever reason. And went back to it a year later and realized that a lot of my batteries seemed to be fine. They charged up and everything, but they had no power. They lost their C rating like gasoline loses its nitro, basically. And so a lot of my batteries seemed fine, but they had zero power. And so I ended up having to trash a lot of them. And then the ones that were fully charged, those were toast. Totally gone. Could not even use them for nothing. So I ended up giving away a lot of batteries there. And I threw away a lot of batteries too, because they were basically just no good. So if you're not going to use your batteries for a while, put them into a storage mode, drain them down one way or the other, somewhere around where you got them, 3.8 to 3.9 per cell, and that way it'll keep them new for you. Lipo batteries have come a long ways in technology, and they're still unstable and unpredictable, but yet the power and the time that we get out of them far surpasses anything to complain about there. And the prices have come way, way down. I remember when we used to buy a 2200 3-cell for over 70, 80 bucks wholesale. And selling wise would be like $150, $170, crazy. And just used to be, basically for the extreme person that could afford had endless amounts of money for their toys, which most of us, of course, these days do not. But they've come a long ways and made it very, very reasonable now. There's a lot to say about lipo batteries and a lot to say about certain companies. But basically, most of the time you get what you pay for. There's a couple companies I don't like, a couple brands I don't like. But for the most part, I'd say you get what you pay for. Some of the better companies out there, in my opinion, are Great Plains, of course, Horizons, Park Zone, E-Flight, of course, Hobby Zone, Turnigy, Zippy, Rhinos, and then there's a lot of them out there that basically lie about their C rating. And the C rating is a very, very complex thing that I still have not gotten my grip on. But maybe here down the road I can make a video and try to help out with that. But for right now, I'd have to say I'm still lost on the C rating thing. I'm still trying to figure out how to check the C rating on a battery. It's a complex mathematical thing that I haven't gotten a handle on yet. But basically, there's a lot of companies out there that lie about their C rating, which is sad but true. They'll say it's a 40C when it's not. I've seen some big names out there that basically got the battery and it had zero power compared to just a 20C Zippy battery that I was running in it. And there's a lot of companies out there that seem to downplay their C rating, where you're buying a 20C battery and it's a damn good battery. It's like a 40C in other brands. And how I judge that is basically power and speed, because that's what I'm mostly into, is power and speed, although now I've gotten into quadcopters pretty heavy. But I like flying fast airplanes, and so my discharge rate batteries, I need higher C ratings, or I need C ratings that are true. And a good 20C battery, though, will fly pretty much about everything. I've got airplanes that go 200 miles an hour that I put a 20C battery in. Just a 3-cell 2200 battery in it, and hit incredible speeds. I'm flying a line of planes right now made by, they're called, I think they're called Park Fighters by Hobby King. And these guys will do 90 miles an hour out of the box with a 3-cell 1000 milliamp, or go to a 4-cell and you'll do 125 miles an hour out of the box. Just incredible speeds for out of the box, and tone it down on your trims and you can fly that sucker very smoothly, very, very nicely. I think the best one out there is called the oh good Lord, what's it called? It's called the, I forget what it's called. But anyway, I'll get into that later on. Anyway, let's go ahead and unplug these and see what the charger says. Okay, I'm putting it on the charger right now. I'm using a charger that just charges off the balancing plug. I'll be lucky if it says 3 cells or 3 volts, and it won't charge unless it is 3 volts. It says 3.6 volts. So I'm going to charge it at just 1 amp. Just to gear back up, I'm still leery of this battery because it puffs so big. But basically, if you can see my charger there, I like a charger that tells you the voltage on every cell. This one I just pins plugged right into the balancing plug. This is an old Common Sense charger, one of the best ones out there, I think. If I could find these, I'd buy them. They used to sell for about $109 when we sold them. Common Sense, by the way, is a good source for info. CommonSenseRC.com has awesome info on lipo batteries. If you're new into it, I recommend you go to their site and read up, because they will give you the info that you need to prepare you for what you're about to get into. Anyway, there you go. That's how to save a lipo battery. This other battery, which is the one that we used to jump it with, is still reading really good. Total voltage is at 11.5 volts. Have a great day.